Good morning. We're at day 11 of morning routines suck, but we're going to get better at them every morning. Remember, we're always basing these morning routines on three things when we wake up. We're chronically dehydrated, so we got to get water. And it's not just the water that we need salt and electrolytes. We've sweated out a lot of moisture during our sleep. We've peed a lot. I think last time I peed like 4 different times. So I can tell this morning already I got a little bit of a headache. I need to get my water down. After the water, we're going straight into some blood flow exercise. All I've been doing is hitting push ups. The purpose of these push ups is never to build muscle. I go to the gym. It's actually chest day for me today. The purpose is blood flow. When the blood is brought into the muscle, it brings oxygen. I also need this oxygen in my brain. That's where you get like the mental clarity and the brain fog of like the early morning kind of goes away. And please, I am not getting up super early and doing this. I'm getting up just a little bit earlier than I usually get up. But the whole point is to maximize my time in the morning instead of just sitting in my chair, drinking my coffee or my energy drink for like an hour. And I'm trying to get myself going and I'm watching videos on YouTube. And before I know it, like a chunk of time is gone that I can't get back. So let's get right into it. I need this water. There's still some in the bottom. I didn't get all of it. When the LMNT, I don't know if you guys have seen that brand, whenever they go on sale, I'll pick up a couple. I definitely use those for when I work out because I'm sweating, so much. And if I just drink water, I'll run through like 2 liters during the workout. So I've got to have some salt in there to with the electrolytes so that my body will hold. That's what sodium does in a lot of situations. It helps hold water in the muscle. And when you're low on sodium or electrolytes, your body will pass the water more freely instead of holding on to it. And having water in your muscle is a great performance enhancer. Another tip I can give you if you want to gain weight and you're having trouble getting food down, one of the easiest and best ways to add calories to your diet is to drink a sugar drink during your workout, like a Gatorade, just a full sugar Gatorade. The extra calories obviously are going to be carbs. They'll help you for energy. They're going to help your pump. It's just a great way. If your protein is already high and it's where it needs to be, we talked about that yesterday. You probably should increase your carbohydrate intake, especially around your training time. But putting a Gatorade in, I mean, a 16-ounce Gatorade is what, like 200 calories, close to 50 grams of carbs. That's golden, straight cherry. If you're trying to build muscle and gain weight, and like I said before, you'll be amazed at how much better you'll feel in between sets when you're sipping on an electrolyte sugar mix. But I'm rambling because I don't want to do these push-ups. Let's get right into it. I feel like every morning I jump the gun and I try to talk too soon instead of just catching my breath. And I'm doing it right now. But remember, if doing physical activity in the morning is something you can't do for whatever reason, if you got an injury, if you're old, if you just don't want to do it or hadn't reached that point yet, take some deep breaths. You can drive oxygen into your brain that way. It's not as good as going for a walk or hitting some push ups or some burpees, but it'll get the job done. Ooh, give me a sec. Structure is probably my biggest weakness, or I should say a lack of structure. But I was researching last night, and when we're little, when we're kids, when we're born, Most of us, if we live in a regular society, we're born into structure. What I mean is, as soon as you're born, from like age 0 to maybe 5, you're generally staying at home with your parents, a caretaker, going to daycare. And this is a process that all little kids go through. They've got a grandma or an auntie that watches them while their parents work. But after we hit 4 or 5, we're going to preschool. And then after, what is it, 18, we're graduating and we're going to college. My point is, our social network, our group, all of these people around us, we're pretty much going through the same things at the same time. Uh, Prom, puberty, first kiss, first date. These are all kind of milestones that we hit together with our people, our friends. And this is in general. I know that there's always exceptions to the rules, but this structure, it kind of keeps an even playing field, so to speak. Now, obviously, we all have different socioeconomic backgrounds, but even if, like, you were in a rich family, more than likely your rich family were friends with other rich families. So you had friends within this group, that you did things with, that you went through life with. We call it doing life together. But what's interesting, and this kind of starts in college, if you go to college, you'll go and you'll get an advisor, and this advisor puts you on a blueprint to graduate. If you follow this blueprint, you're going to get all these credits, you're going to earn all the accommodations that you need to earn, and you'll get a degree. It's about this time where we're noticing that our paths in life from our friends and peers might start to differ a little bit. But after we graduate college, and all of us are just sort of thrown into the real world, and some of us didn't even go to college. This happened when you turn 18. When we're thrust into society, I mean, that's sink or swim. That's when you're swimming with the sharks, you're getting eaten by sharks, fight or flight. There's all these different things that can happen. And a lot of times it takes us a while to realize that that structure that we had in the beginning, that we didn't even realize was structure, was actually there to help us get through life. So now, man, I'm in my 40s and I'm realizing this now. We have to give ourselves structure. I think about it like a blueprint for life. But if we don't have something in place, we're just going to tread water. We're going to go through life walking mindlessly, aimlessly. We're going to let life happen to us instead of making life happen for us. And the foundation for all of this is understanding your purpose, what you're put here to do, and then having a plan, a blueprint in place that helps you accomplish your potential in that purpose. Daily, non negotiable habits that you do each and every day, uncompromising, doesn't matter what. Things like this, when you have these in place, it's almost like your subconscious can take over because it knows what you need to do because you've programmed it, you've told it the reason why the structure is here. And when you do this long enough, it becomes automatic. I'm only day 11 into this, and I'm nowhere near that point, but I am doing a lot better about maximizing my time in the morning. So, how do we get these blueprints? Well, the first thing you've got to do is you've got to work on yourself and find out what your purpose is. If you don't know what your purpose is, that's okay. You can always start with building your self confidence through personal development. There's always things in our lives that we know we need to change. And a lot of times, life is lived best through a process of subtraction instead of addition. We think about, if we want to get healthy, all these things that we have to do, have to go to the gym, we have to eat healthy food, we have to add in cardiovascular activity. When really, if we view it from the viewpoint of subtraction, we can just start by taking away unhealthy foods. We can start by taking away unhealthy activities. Look, binging for Netflix for 4 hours at night is not necessarily the time that you're wasting watching it, but it's probably the crap food that you're eating during that 4 hours as well. So it's always good to have a different perspective on the work that needs to be done. Not that we want to minimize it, but if we can reduce the work down to bite-sized pieces, it makes it easier to accomplish. And that's the whole point of having a blueprint. Also, too, it's easy to get caught up in jealousy. But what I'm learning is that people aren't the problem. These people that I'm jealous of, they're actually the solution. And they've already probably got a blueprint in place that if I can't identify it specifically, I can look at them and tell and identify aspects of their life that they're doing that I ain't doing. And that's really what pisses us off with jealousy more than anything. It's not anger towards someone else's success, it's anger at us for not doing the things we know we should be doing. So, my challenge for you today, if you don't have a purpose, if nothing's clear, if you're not called to be a lawyer or a preacher or a doctor, or if you can't just look at something and be like, that's the one, make yourself better. Start looking better. You'll feel better about yourself. Please use me as motivation. Man, I don't even know if I'm at the point where I can be used as motivation, but understand that I'm unashamed to show you this process that I'm going through. And by developing a sense of comfortableness within the expression of your vulnerability, this will help you propel yourself forward into your potential.